All right, looks like we're live, and I'm here with my frequent sidekick, Artistic Laban.
How do you do, fellow kids?
And and yeah, so I wasn't expecting that. So there's a couple of topics I want to talk about. I touched briefly on Toys R Us in trouble last night, and I'll talk on that. But first, I want to shit on the boomers. Because tomorrow I'm finally going to second shift at my day job, which means I'll be around a lot less of them. And man, this current job I'm at, it's some of the most boomer of boomers. Everybody has their own fork truck, and you can play the radio, so I'm frequently hearing them blast their fucking boomer music. And it really is obnoxious how much, like, I don't know how to put this. Like, everybody's nostalgic for shit they had as a teenager and shit like that. But there's something about the boomers where they kind of philosophize it. You know what I mean? Like, in their minds, truly, the only good music mankind ever produced was in that 10 or so year period when they were a teenager / young adult, and never before and never since. I don't know exactly how to put it, but like I said, the boomers I work with, man, you've never heard people more obsessed with fucking sports ball. The amount of impassioned discussions in the break room revolving which of these overpaid dindoos is your favorite, which of these overpaid dindoos who hate you is your favorite. It's so cucky. I'm sorry. The real heavy sports ball fans are just cucky as shit. You're about as cringy as the My Little Pony fans. I mean, basically the subtext of all these conversations is which of these dindoos would you like to service sexually? Oh. But that aside, I was listening to one of these boomers bitch about fucking rap music today. Because one of the younger people I had somebody my age in their fucking 30s, but younger compared to these fucking fossils. Younger compared to the earth. They were bitching about rap music, and look, I have a fondness for rap music, specifically early 90s into early 2000s rap music. I have a fondness for it. Yeah, it's kind of degenerate, and it's all, it's gangster culture, but it was one of the last bastions of American pop culture that was still allowed to be unapologetically masculine. It's not anymore. Don't get me wrong. It's not anymore. But it was for a while, and I had a soft spot for that, despite the fact that I'm obviously not the target audience for rap. I always had a soft spot for that. That said, though, I can completely understand why somebody thinks it's degenerate garbage. I get that. But it dawned on me as I was listening to this boomer rant about something that he clearly had no understanding of. And that's, boomers don't like rap music, not because it's degenerate, because is some dindoo singing about pimpin' hoes really any degenerate than some shitty rock band from the 70s singing about the Dark Lord? I would argue considerably less so. But the reason boomers hate rap music is, interestingly enough, the exact same reason boomers hate video games. And that's because these are two things that did not exist in any way, shape, or form when they were kids. Therefore, it's bad. It's that simple. Boomers didn't have rap music when they were teenagers. Boomers didn't have video games when they were teenagers. Therefore, these things are bad. Other forms of music existed in some form when they were kids. Other genres, I should say. So they can at least understand it, even if they think it's all crap now. But they hate rap music for the exact same reason they hate video games. It's new. Well, it's new to them. It's really not that new now, is it? I mean, but to these fucking fossils, It's those damn kids. And I don't know. I've never really heard anybody say that, and it just dawned on me today. But and think about it. The boomers despise rap music and video games. In fact, as politicians, they waged holy fucking crusades against these things back in the 90s. They've tried to essentially ban or heavily regulate both these things, nearly out of existence. And at the end of the day, it all boils down to the fact that they didn't have them as kids. So they don't understand them. And, you know, if they didn't have it as a kid, well, you don't need it. A couple of these things I gotta read in the chat because the chat was on fire a little bit here. Somebody said, "Did you like my birthday present?" I'm not sure what that's referring to. Maybe a super chat yesterday. If that's what you're talking about, I liked it. Chris, what brand of 45 is your nightstand 45? To be honest, I'm not sure what the brand is. I got it a while ago, so I really don't know off the top of my head. Bechtloff, do you mean to tell me boomers aren't the greatest generation? No, quite the opposite. They're the worst. Somebody says, what about hockey? I like hockey. I can enjoy watching hockey. Interestingly enough, you know, hockey being the whitest sport and basketball being the blackest sport in America are the two sports I can actually sit down and watch. I'm not nearly as much of a fan of basketball as I am of hockey. I'm not a huge fan of either, to be honest. But they're two sports. They're probably the two mainstream sports I can watch. The only two, I should say. Simply because they're fast-paced. You know, I don't have the attention span for fucking football. You know, a game where you take a timeout every 2 fucking seconds, I don't have the attention span for. I like hockey, though. But I couldn't name you one fucking hockey player right now. I don't know who's doing well. I don't know. I don't follow it that much. I catch it sometimes. I catch up to it sometimes. But it's not like football where, like, I know who is doing well in football against my will. You know what I mean? Every single year I know who is playing in the Super Bowl and who won against my will. I don't want to know these things, but I will know these things. My brain is raped with the knowledge of the NFL's. In fact, hell, I know more about fucking draft picks in the NFL than I want to. Trust me, if I could push a button and erase the fucking useless information from my head, I would. But yeah, I enjoy hockey, but you know, I don't fucking obsess over it. I don't cuck over it. You know, when a team wins, I don't say we won because I didn't win anything. Somebody says boomers are scumbags. Tonight I got paid and they stiffed me out of $55 overtime. Now tomorrow I have to go in and let these rich assholes know the discrepancy in case they fucked up. So he says the internal boomer. Let's see. Boomer shit hit the fan when Eminem came out. Oh yeah, they lost their shit then. When a white guy was doing it, it was a little harder to ignore, I guess. The day the last boomer leaves the earth will be celebrated as a national holiday. They really are the worst generation. Just hands down the worst generation. Well, something else I wanted to touch on there for a second. I think I lost track of it. But yeah, fuck the boomers. Again, you know, you might be in the. Obviously, I have a lot of more right wing people. I have more than a few, you know, people that identify as white nationalists in the audience. I know this, and I know a lot of you are probably like, no, rap music's degenerate, didn't do garbage. I get that, but understand that ain't why boomers hate it. Okay, that ain't why they hate it at all. My dad's a good example. Now I love my dad. I respect the hell out of my dad. But these are two areas where rap music and fucking video games are like kryptonite to him. He's not as anti video game as some boomers, but he doesn't get them. And rap music's like fucking kryptonite to him. and he loves black music in general, but only the black music he had as a kid. Suddenly, somewhere in his mid-20s, you know, all music turned to shit in his eyes.
Oh, someone took M&M's Without Me and put Nigel Farage to it.
Nice.
Little million, so to speak, just embarrassed. Two experts start feeling like prisoners, helpless. So someone come along on a mission, yells Brexit.
Yells Brexit. That's fantastic.
Scary, vision is scary. He'll start a revolution. Split the airways level. So just let me level on asking for facts. I got everyone to sing our songs.
Interestingly enough, Nigel Farage is more gangster right now than Eminem is currently. You can file Eminem away with Jimmy Kimmel as someone who lost their balls somewhere in the last 15 years. The eternal boomer. And you know, the other thing I was thinking of as I'm listening to these guys in the break room ramble on about just stat after stat and which one of these overpaid dingus that hate them is going to be the better player and who got traded to what team and just on and on. And I thought to myself, and it puzzled me for a bit, and I guess it still kind of does. I thought to myself, it's easy to look at these guys and initially think, you know, what a bunch of dumb blue-collar rednecks, you know, with their sports ball and their cigarettes and their chew and all this kind of shit, right? You know, and their shitty country music that Sean Hannity plays right around his ad breaks. But then I realized, like, they're not dumb. None of these men are dumb. I work with them. You know, warehouse work isn't you know, you have to memorize a system, you know, and every fucking warehouse has a different system. They're not stupid men by any stretch. But there's something missing in them. And it's not intellect. It's I don't know what to call it. It's like a spark or something. Like these guys go through their whole lives and I'm generalizing, obviously. I'm not picking on anyone in particular. I'm picking on a type of guy. They go through their whole fucking lives. And, you know, they're never asking any fucking philosophical questions. They're never asking any theological questions. You know, they're never looking into politics or history or anything like that. And they're never looking up. You know what I mean? They're just going to work every day and they're eating their corn syrup and they're watching their sports ball and they go home and somehow they seem fucking content with that. Yeah, you're throwing up zombies as a metaphor, but I mean they're not stupid. You know what I mean? They're not stupid at all. It's not fair to call them stupid because intellect isn't what's missing. You know? Oh my God, you should see the creative ways some of these guys can stack skids to make an order that should probably be 3 skids somehow too. They're not stupid. But they're not I don't know how to put it. They're not thoughtful. I'm at a loss for exactly how to describe it.
Has their soul been conditioned out of them or something?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, in a literal sense, I don't believe that anyone, you know, drawing breath is without a soul. You know, as C.S. Lewis says, you don't have a soul, you have a body, you are a soul. But it's almost like that. It's like they just. I've heard people describe them, on the nerd dork fucking message boards and shit as they're like the NPCs in video games. You know what I mean? Or the NPCs. It's like they're not. And again, they're not dumb men. It would be easier to understand it if they were. They're just. I don't know how else to put it. There's a spark gone. I don't know how else to put it. And to me, I mean, I've spent my fucking life with my head in the clouds. If anything, I don't focus on practical shit enough. You know what I mean? I remember I was in my mid-20s and I don't remember how exactly, but it dawned on me at one point, just in thought, that I didn't know how the fuck a septic tank worked, right? Like I didn't know what it did. It was fucking magic. You shit in the toilet, it goes away. It's just fucking magic. I didn't understand how it worked. I never thought of it. And so I went online and I looked up how a septic tank works. I go, oh, that's fascinating. That's actually an interesting piece of technology we've developed there. That's fucking fantastic. But I realized there's a lot of practical shit that I never really thought of because I was always thinking of bigger things. And I don't mean to sound up my own ass about it, by the way, because it's not even necessarily a good thing. But I was always just trying to look at a big picture in my own limited, flawed way. And it's just, I guess it's just people the opposite, that they just, where, to use a metaphor, whereas I look up too much and I don't even look where I'm going half the time, there's people out there that I guess just never look up. And I don't understand it. It's like I said, it was really weird when I was sitting there in the break room listening to him ramble on today. Because, again, I don't like sports ball. I think it's stupid. So my initial thought is, well, you're stupid for liking it. But then I thought to myself, no, Bechtloff, you're being fair. They're not stupid. Hell, these are, a stupid man couldn't do this job. But they're missing something. And I don't quite know how to describe it. But they're missing something. Let's see. In the chat real quick. Somebody says, you mean the shit fairy isn't real? No. Also, Bechtloff, did you see Empress Tay-Tay had a new... Yeah, it was like 10 years ago, too, that I had that thought, by the way. That it's just... It struck me as one of those moments in life where you realize, like, you hadn't paid enough attention to the practical shit around you. It was kind of one of those epiphanies I had in life. Somebody says, did you see Empress Tay-Tay has a new song out? I did. I didn't listen to it yet. I didn't get a chance to, but I did see it. Somebody says they wasted their lives on sex and other degenerate stuff, and now they are slowly dying in despair, and they use their sports as a shield. I don't even know if it's that. I mean, maybe a lot of these guys are fucking divorced, because of course. Let's see. Eminem and Jimmy Kimmel both had boxed vasectomies. Bechtloff, have you heard of a game called Alundra? Indigo Gaming did a review on it on his channel. It was like a PlayStation Zelda clone. I haven't heard of it, no. See. Bechtloff, in regards for cultural appropriation, basketball was invented by Christian Canadians. We was basketball players. Yeah. So, like I said, it was just kind of a thought. I I don't exactly know how to put it into words, but I'm just and in some ways it's the blue collar working class syndrome of the nerd soy boy that's just a mindless consumer that takes his identity from whatever fucking thing he can buy toys of or something. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a nerd. I love me dorky stuff, but that's not all I'm about. You know what I mean? Some people, that's what they take an identity from. They want to buy an identity at the store. Somebody says, the hell is with you and T-Swift? Okay, well, and you could go back to back when this was a podcast and not a live stream. I don't necessarily recommend you do that because I'm sure there's shit. But since 2014, I've been vocal about my love of Taylor Swift. First of all, I don't know, they're cute songs. I like them. And I think the biggest reason is, especially a few years ago, in a world of bitchy feminists all over the place, it's just so refreshing and nice to see a woman that is just unapologetically feminine, and I might add unapologetically white. And yeah, so again, I'm in much the same way I was able to appreciate rap years ago for being unapologetically masculine. I like a female singer being unapologetically feminine and girly. There's just something kind of life affirming about it. Men being men and women being women. It's the kind of thing we should be able to take for granted, but these days we can't. So, the other thing I want to talk about is this is a story according to Eyewitness News, WFSB.com. I'm not sure where the hell this is from, some local channel. Reports Toys R Us is going out of business, closing all stores. Now, this is mostly just rumors. Toys R Us has been filed bankruptcy here recently, and there are going to be some store closings, no doubt. But according to the rumors in this news story, all Toys R Us may be closing by the end of the week. I find that kind of weird because at least here in good old Lancaster County, the Toys R Us is doing fine. It's not, I mean, it's not blowing in and blowing out all the time. Of course, it actually has kind of a bad location. But it always seems to have a decent amount of people in there when I go in there. I don't see any real clearance shit other than the Star Wars stuff. Oh, they can't fucking sell Star Wars stuff to save their soul. In fact, there was a guy, somebody sent me a video of somebody went into his local Toys R Us, which was closing, and the store is barren except that the Star Wars aisle is full. They can't fucking move the soy wars shit. Let's see.
I don't want to grow up, 'cause baby, if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
Let's see. Somebody says R.I.P. Woke as Fuck Kirby. Oh shit. Did Woke as Fuck Kirby get showed? Yeah, I guess it did.
Oh no!
Huh. Well, how about that?
I was suspended. Ah!
Well, he did tell someone to kill themselves recently. So,
was it a person?
I can't remember what it was, but it was something like I don't know, it was something about push this button or whatever, and then I know it was like press F to do this or some shit. I can't remember, but I just responded to him like, which button do you push to tell you to kill yourself? So I knew that was coming. Oh well. I mean, honestly, there's
because F Kirby.
Yeah. There's nothing on fucking. I don't use Twitter anymore. Even that fucking troll account. I mean, Twitter's killing itself. You know, it's nothing but celebrities and bots at this point. But that's leftist. They'd rather run their shit into the ground. You know. And actually, in all fairness, a few leftists have got caught in this shit in Twitter's fucking crazy ass purge. I mean, Spoonie got caught in it. Now, yeah, he fucking deserved it. I mean, he said he was going to kill himself and take innocent people with him. What's that guy that guy that draws himself as the blue bear and he's into inflation porn? Andrew Dobson. He got fucking showed off there because he told Trump to. Oh, he threatened Trump's life on Twitter, which he's lucky he didn't have some Secret Service men showing up to his door, you know, with giving him a full cavity search or something. So he says, and remember, kids, woke Kirby says all communists must hang. Well, communists do need to hang. There's no denying that. Bechtloff, Toys R Us didn't even sell awesome figures. When was the last time you see Marvel Select or DC Legends stuff on the shelves? Toys R Us has shit now, just Chinese breakables. I don't know. I've seen a good amount of Marvel and DC stuff there. I don't collect Marvel and DC stuff as much as I used to, for obvious reasons, because it all turned to shit here last few years. Generally speaking, if I was looking for a new action figure, it was probably like a Nintendo one. Hell, I think the last action figure I actually bought was there was a Scrooge. Funko actually put out a couple of old style action figures of like Disney Afternoon shit, and I saw a Scrooge McDuck that I scooped up.
There he is.
Wait, what's this? Oh, yep. That was Dark Side Kirby. Dealing with that online lag. Rest in peace. Rip in peace, little buddy. Oh.
Yeah, the restrictions that YouTube and Twitter are doing are just making their platforms more boring.
They're shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah. I saw
What's an appropriate sound bit?
I saw well, last night I was talking about the Toys R Us thing, and there was a story about like a local toy store and how it was thriving when some of these other places were dying. And like to some extent, you don't have to go to a store to find stuff. You know, if you really know what you want, you can just find it on Amazon most of the time. But going to the store is something to do. It's getting out of the house. It's actually going somewhere, you know? And that's what's lost in these things. There's a store in my area called Complete in Box. And it started out as like a retro game store, and it expanded into like also comic books and movies and all sorts of other nerd shit. And it expanded again here recently. It bought up the store next to it closed, and it just expanded right into it. And it's just a great place to hang out. They have free-to-play arcade machines there. And I mean, really good ones like Donkey Kong, the Simpsons arcade game. I think they got one of the Final Fights or some shit like that, something like that. Just great stuff. And then they have like a Wii, or they have a Switch that's set up that you can play for free. That's usually got either like Mario Kart or Mario Odyssey on it. And it's just a great place to hang out. I could spend like hours there. Somebody says, Bechtloff, I highly recommend the Kirby Nintendroid figure. It's hilarious. It has magnetic parts. Yes, I actually have that. It is very, very cool. Twitter pretty much run on dirty Saudi money. Wouldn't surprise me. Nintendo should open its own stores over here. What I'd give to have some of those super intricate Mario figures. They're I don't think it has like the really intricate Mario figures you got to basically order out of Japan almost. Some stores will have them here in the States. Like Barnes and Noble, interestingly enough, will have a lot of them, but they come basically out of Japan. But the Jack specific, they're a little cheaper, and they're obviously cheaper price, but they're cheaper quality. They have decent Nintendo figures. Like I have a Mario and Luigi on my game shelf that are the really good from Japan ones with interchangeable hands and faces and bullshit like that. But I also got like a Toad and a Princess that just were Jack specific ones. They're the same size though. They look fine next to each other. But there's a Nintendo store actually in New York. I've been there a couple of times. It's really nice. See, when will they make it N64 classic? Will they actually make enough if they do? That's the problem. They could have sold way more of those NES and SNES classics than they did if they would have just produced them. At my last job, I knew two of the girls from the HR office were actually asking me if I knew where they could find NES and SNES classics because they wanted both of them. Because of course they did. It's like all these awesome classic games in this cute little fucking package that hooks right up to your TV. Of course they wanted it. That shit would have sold like a candy-coated AIDS cure in San Francisco. Somebody says, I live in Canada. The really awesome Nintendo figures are rarely sold at my local comic store. That kind of sucks. But they're like $90. Yeah, they're not cheap. Those ones from Japan. I mean, they can run $50, $60 at least. And now you're getting a lot for your money on those things. But I think the first one of those kind of toys I bought was like in 2013. I splurged on the Mega Man one. And I've gotten a few since then. I have like a Samus. I have a Link. I have a Mario and a Luigi. Let's see. Nothing else in the chat. I guess that's the end of my troll account because now they fucking now they IP block you. So that's probably the end of it. I'm not gonna bother going around it. All right. Do you like Married with Children? Yeah, I was a big fan of that back in the day. Bechtloff, on a lighter note, care to gush about Mega Man 11? Well, I'm looking forward to it, but we don't really know anything about it. Nintendo has always been shit on the manufacturing end. Well, ever since the days of like N64 and GameCube, they're always so gun-shy about, like, they don't understand that people like them. You know? I mean, yeah, the N64 didn't sell quite as well as the PlayStation 1. Okay, fine. But it did decent. The GameCube was kind of a flop. But at the same time, I mean, this is unpopular opinion, but the GameCube's library was shit. I realize a lot of Nintendo nerds want to fight me on that, but I got into the GameCube last year, and after a while, I lost interest and promptly got out of it. I mean, it's just not good. Mario Sunshine is eh. I think Smash Brothers Melee is incredibly overrated. You know, unless you're a competitive Smash player, I don't see the point of. I don't see the point of it. If you're a competitive Smash player, you need to check your fucking autism. And I guess I can understand why people like the Prime Metroid stuff that much, but I prefer the 2D Metroid, to be honest. I know it's an unpopular opinion. I don't care for it. I got into the GameCube and promptly lost interest within a year. You know what Mega Man gets swept under the rug? Mega Man 64. Wasn't that the start of the Mega Man Legends? Let's see. Bechtloff, have you ever seen the Goofy movie? Is that the one based on like that Goof Troop cartoon? I never liked that. I'm sorry. I didn't see the movie, but I never liked that cartoon. I kind of thought it was shit. I thought Goofy's son was just this annoying 90s stereotype incarnate. Somebody says Bechtloff N64 may not have sold as well PlayStation, but Ocarina of Time / Majora's Mask mic drop. Well, honestly, I think the fifth. Now, I mean, I kind of missed the 5th generation. I wasn't really into video games at that time, but so obviously I don't have any nostalgia. But I think the 5th generation of games is pretty damn overrated. Early 3D gaming is rough. In a way, it's almost like fucking Atari in that it just hasn't aged well. I mean, even on the N64, like if I got an N64, what would I want? I'd want like Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, and even Ocarina of Time, has a better version on a 3DS. So. See, Smash is a party game. Yeah, that's the thing about Smash Brothers. That's why I don't care for the Melee crowd that much, because all they want to fucking do is just nothing but like Final Destination, Fox only, no items. I know that's a fucking meme, but that's all they want to do, and they want to do cheap shit like Edge Guard and stuff like that. And that's not why I like to play it. I like to have a wide selection of characters, and I like the chaos. I like the items and bullshit like that. I like the chaotic element where, yeah, there's obviously skill involved, but like there's this X factor that, anybody can get lucky, can get a lucky one in there, and I like that because it keeps it fun for everybody. If it's just pure skill based, then the only people who are going to be having fun are the people who devote their fucking lives to perfecting it. I'm sorry, like I try to watch some of like the esports, like the fucking competitive fighting game players and all, and it's just so fucking boring. Like it's no matter what game it is, it's like the same dozen people who each pick the same like 3 fucking characters, if that, and do this. It's just Like if I was hosted like an esports thing, there'd just be so much random shit. Like, no, we're going to draw what character you play as out of a fucking hat. All right? It's like, oh, we're going to have a Street Fighter tournament? Yeah, and then next up, we're going to play some bullshit like Game Boy version of it or something. We're going to see who can do best at the Tiger version. I just want to handicap people just to see... I remember like Undertow was said to be once. He goes, they'd be like, having professional sports where you break their legs first. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds more interesting. Throw an X Factor in there. But he says Mario Sunshine is fucking rough. I wouldn't say it's shit, but it's definitely one of I played it and I was glad I played it, but I'll probably never have the urge to play it again, despite being a huge Mario fan. Bechtloff, bad news. Heather Antos is going from comics to the gaming industry. Anita 2.0. These industries are so fucking cocked, so fucking fucked. It's just... I mean, Marvel's being run by 13-year-old girls now. And it fucking shows. The only thing of note from Super Mario 64 is having to argue for several hours over half-A presses in parallel universes. GameCube was a great system. It just didn't have the library PS2 had. Oh, yeah, PS2 won that generation, hands down. I mean, let me put it this way: like, I got back into video games around '05. You know, and it was probably like '95 was the last video game I bought before that. No, that's not fair. I got Oddworld and Tomb Raider on the PC like '97. But other than that, I really wasn't buying any video games. I'm very rare. Maybe I'd play like a roommate system or something, but very rarely would I play it. You know, I had comics. That was my hobby in my teen years. That's where my disposable income went. And my dad, being the boomer that he was, at a certain point decided he was never going to get me another video game system because that's kid stuff. Or really, he just didn't want to have to fucking get it anymore. Okay, fine. So like around '05, I remember early that year I got a hankering where it's like I could go for some Sonic again. I just want to play me some Sega. So my girlfriend at the time actually got me a Sega Genesis for Christmas because she knew I was looking for one. Or not Christmas, my birthday, and a couple of games. That was the start of me getting into retro gaming, really, because like 2 years later I got a Super Nintendo, but I got a PS2, and Ultimate Spider-Man was what made me finally get a PS2. I remember at the time, and I know it's just cell shading, and it's nothing impressive now, but at the time, I was just amazed at the graphics. Like, holy shit, it all looks like a Mark Bagley drawing come to life. That's amazing. How'd they do that? Are they some sort of sorcerer? Let's see. Bechtloff, thoughts on Twilight Princess? I think I played a little bit of Twilight Princess when I first got my Wii, and I just wasn't impressed with it. Because, like, shortly before, I had almost completely played through Ocarina of Time at my girlfriend's house because she had an N64 that she basically stole from some friend she was fighting with. Apparently, some friend of hers owed her, like, $100 or something. Because I remember coming over to her place one time, and she just had an N64 and a bunch of games. And I'm like, where'd you get this? And she's like, this is mine till my friend pays me back. It's like, okay, I'm going to ask questions. I'm just going to be glad that, you know, there's something for me to play here while I'm waiting for you to get ready to wherever the fuck we're going. Let's see. My PS2 still works. Oh, yeah, I still have my PS2. Like, I mean, let's see. Right now I got a Wii U. I got a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, 32X, PlayStation 2, and 360. And hell, man, that I think if I had to get rid of a bunch, like the PlayStation 2 would probably go before the Genesis, but other than that, it'd be the last one to go. Even the Nintendo and Super Nintendo, I don't even need them. I have upstairs, I got these little portable guys. That like Hyperkin and Retron or whatever. Hyperkin's the company's name. They put out one's called a Superboy, and it's a portable system that you can actually put SNES cartridges in. Plays SNES games. And I got another called an FC Mobile 2. I don't know why it's named that. I guess Famicom. I don't know if it plays Famicom games, but it plays NES games. Gaming has slowed to a crawl. Graphics don't improve much. The stories aren't original. SJW pause still lingers. Beck, did you have a Wii? Yeah, I got a Wii shortly after shortly after it came out. That was the next system I got on top after PS2. That's when I hopped back into Nintendo, and I was really happy with the Wii. For as much as everyone's like, "There's no games on the Wii," I had a fucking blast with it. Mario Kart on the Wii was fantastic. Mario Galaxy was amazing. You know, a bunch of other fucking games on there were great. It was GameCube compatible. You could play GameCube games. I didn't have a ton of GameCube games for it, but I had a Zelda collection that had Zelda 1 and 2 and then Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time on it. Yeah, I don't know why people shit on the Wii. Again, it's just fashionable to shit on Nintendo. It's not a serious console. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you for taking it that seriously. How is the library for the Wii U? Well, it's pretty good, actually, if you like Nintendo games. It had really no third-party support. But if you like Nintendo games, there were some fantastic games on the Wii U. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is probably the best Donkey Kong Country game. Super Mario World, or Super Mario 3D World's fantastic. Mario Maker was amazing. Mario Kart 8. I mean, obviously Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a little bit better, but yeah, just fantastic games on it. Bechtloff, my dad says you're too foul-mouthed. Well, he's probably not wrong. But, he can go fuck himself. How come you didn't get a 64? Well, again, like at the time when the 5th generation was coming out, like I said, my dad was very anti-video game, and he just decided he wasn't getting me video games anymore. I wanted an N64. I wanted it bad. I remember at fucking Sears, it shows you when it was. I remember playing a little bit of Mario 64 at Sears, and it just blew my mind. Like, holy shit, like classic Mario in 3D? I'm living in the future. At this point, you're better off buying a Switch to play the Wii U library. Yeah, they're just porting everything to the fucking Switch. Let's see who's messaging me on the Skypes. Let's see. You don't have one now? No, I don't have an N64 now. I don't have a great deal of interest in the library, to be honest. There's a few gems in it, but it's just not enough to really get into. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of considering whittling shit down. Like just to N60 or just to like NES, Super Nintendo, and Genesis. Obviously, I got my Game Boy and Game Gear and shit like that, portable stuff. I don't know, just space reasons and all. Somebody said, "Ever have a threesome?" Yes, I've had a couple. I mean, hell, I actually had my first one before I was done high school. My high school sweetheart was rather bi, and her cute, petite little blonde friend joined us on a few occasions. Hi, Bechtloff. You play Subnautica? I have not played Subnautica, but I've heard nothing but good things about it, and everything I've seen. Everything I've seen is good. Are they good or overrated?
I equally have nothing but good things about it.
Yeah. Are they good or overrated? I both. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I would say it's probably overrated just because it's, so many guys consider it the greatest fucking thing in the world. But I'm not going to sit here and act all pious and act like I didn't have a grand old fucking time. Not to mention the N64 controller looking like a Fisher-Price abortion. Am I meant to suck on one of these sticks? Yeah, I've never cared for the N64 controller. I just saw you put that picture up. I'm a little behind you there, Luke, because I'm looking at the chat. But let's see. Have you played Postal Service Simulator 2018 with Ted Kaczynski? I can't say I have, no. Bechtloff, oh boy, you should look into the story elements of Subnautica. That is more terrifying than the monsters. The correct option is not to leave the planet. That's interesting. Remember, Bechtloff, Movie Bob is your evil twin from the Cancer verse. Movie Bob is the cautionary tale all nerds should look at.
What's funny about Subnautica is that the computer sometimes reminds you that because you're still using the corporate technology, you still have to compensate for all the technology you've used.
So what, when you get home, they're going to have you in massive debt?
Basically, well, when they first tell you that, they say, our current record year show is at $3 million.
Jeez. Yeah, I'd probably just stay on the planet. Fuck them. Come get it.
And really, you're colonizing the planet for them, so they're not really in a position to complain to you.
Let's see. Let's see. Cornelius Rex, that good work like the mirror universe, or that could work like the mirror universe, and all he could be is the thicker, wider version with a goatee. Yeah, I just looked it up. N64 didn't have the greatest library. I actually got a hardcover book that's like, it's sort of like Pat the NES Punk's NES guide, only it's not as good. It's supposed to go through the whole N64 library. Somebody says, ever have a squirter? I have not had a squirter, no. Man, there's a lot of sex. It's a lot of sex questions in the chat tonight.
I think the word threesome got their attention.
Let's see. Dabbed a little into Kingdom Come Deliverance. Got a laugh about the Codex and its explanation of the situation with the Catholic Church. Bet it would make papists salty. Okay, well, I'm always up for that. So he says, I leave and come back in pure degeneracy. Hey, I'm not the Chad, man. These are what people are asking me. You know, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I mean, I'm not encouraging any of this stuff. Okay, this is, you know, you're asking me questions about shit I did in my very unchristian days. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but you know, when I was a young man, I was running with a former Catholic schoolgirl, and some fun was had. Some mistakes were made.
On the word former.
Yeah, mistakes were made. Sometimes multiple times a night. Let's see. Somebody says, why do they only give blondes half-an-hour lunch breaks any longer, and they'd have to retrain them? Bechtloff, look into Kingdom Come Deliverance. Game journalists are outright lying about the game and its developers. Now, yeah, I had actually seen that. Basically, this guy, he wanted to make a game about medieval England, or medieval Europe, I should say. And, you know, so it's full of white people and Christians, and white people and Christianity, and even fatherhood in the family are all portrayed positively in it. So, of course, it's the most evil thing ever. So he says, so when is the Bechtloff Let's Play channel starting up? I don't even know how to fucking really do a Let's Play on here. I've never really looked into doing it. But I don't know. I mean, like, there's not that many games I really want to play in front of an audience that I know that well. I mean, unless you want to see me fucking play Sonic 3 and Knuckles again. That's a game I know every damn pixel of. How's things on the wife hunting front? There's a little bit of promise on that front. People still do Let's Plays, I guess. Somebody says no Sonic, please, God knows. Hey, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is one of the best games ever made. I'm not talking about modern Sonic where it's all furry porn, cringy, autistic shit. I'm talking about good old classic Genesis era Sonic. So he says, how do you get 4 gays on a bar stool? Turn it upside down. Maybe we can get Prince of Paws on there. Prince of Queens. When did the Bechtloff start hunting married women like Ted Cruz? Stream Breath of the Wild, you hack. I don't even know how the fuck to hook the damn switch up to the computer. I mean, I'm sure it's easy enough to do, but I never bothered looking into it. Besides, how exciting would that be? You know what I like to do in Breath of the Wild? I like to dick around. I like to wander around and look for shit. Is that going to be really exciting? Watching me run through fields hoping to find shit? Like, it's exciting for me because I'm doing it, but Cowardly the Dog says, if you need help in the wife finding department, let me recommend the Bob Chipman Sex Life Starter Kit. Well, okay, I'll bite. What's in the Bob Chipman Sex Life Starter Kit? I'll give you a minute to answer because I know the chat's a little behind. No, there's a delay. Is Luke doing a Subnautica playthrough? I want to see this. I don't know, Luke. You doing that on your channel?
Just on the screen right now, but it's not the kind of game you can really follow because there's a lot of collecting and doing. There's not really much to watch.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Breath of the Wild. It's just like, you really want to watch me just dick around all that time? Just poke around, hope to find stuff?
I mean, maybe if you get to like an epic moment where I confront the monster for the first time, that would be something to watch.
I mean, even a lot of times when I'm fighting monsters, I tend to try and find a safe spot and spam bombs at them if I can. Let's see. Okay, so the
best games for playthroughs would be like the 2D platformer games because you don't have to run around collecting things.
Yeah. All right, so the Bob Chipman Sex Life Starter Kit is a windowless van conversion kit, cable ties, and a packet of roofies. All for the low, low price of 3 lampshades and a bar of soap. Ooh, that's some spicy news. I think the main appeal of gaming live streams is the high quality shit posting in the chat. It figures I can actually stay up late tonight. In fact, I should because I got to start second shift tomorrow. And I'm fucking dog ass tired. Meanwhile, last night I couldn't get to sleep at a decent time. That's shift work for you. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, Lauren Southern got banned from the UK. I think it was for fraud for daring to call her pant little book. But no, I'm sure it was for being the writer Karl Marx. Let's see. Going to see if there's anything. Let's see. Bechtloff, do you think that the AAA game devs started putting collecting in games to get rid of Let's Plays? I don't know about that. I think a lot of them like Let's Plays. As much as they bitch about it, I think the majority of them are okay with it. You guys know hacks like DSP get tons of views for gaming streams. Watching Bechtloff frolicking in Hylian fields would likely be very interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'll look into trying to get the Switch hooked up to the laptop, see if it's doable. I mean, this laptop's a piece of shit. It barely fucking live streams. Knock on wood, we haven't had a problem with the robot voice in a while, but, give it time. So he says, I think that was Brittany Pettibone that got banned. No, it was also Lauren Southern that was announced today. I was all over Gab and shit. So he says, what did the cannibal do after dumping his girlfriend? He wiped his ass. But let's see. Get them Let's Play shekels, baby. Yeah, speaking of shekels, if you enjoyed the show, you enjoy the content I put out here, there's the Patreon, where you can be a regular supporter. There's the PayPal, where you can become a one-time, give a one-time donation. There's the Amazon wish list. And, hey, I just had a birthday recently, so, make with them shekels there, boy. Make with them shekels. Quit being a cheap fuck. Collectibles as an end unto themselves are means of padding gameplay without having to mix up the formula and keep things interesting. To some extent, yeah. Bechtloff, what do you call 500 black guys running down a hill? A prison break. Bechtloff, what's your favorite cartoon? I don't know. It's kind of a broad question. Shit, I don't know. I guess all-time favorite would probably be like, the Batman animated series. What did you do for your birthday, and what did you get, fam? I had a couple of little things from a buddy of mine. My dad actually renewed my Sirius satellite radio. I got a year free of it last year that was set to run out, and he renewed it, which is good because I really couldn't afford it, and it spoiled me. I love having it. Bechtloff got a Bulbasaur dildo for his birthday. Psst, you're assuming I didn't already have that. As for what I did for my birthday, nothing really. I had dinner at Outback. Had a steak, baked potato, and salted caramel cheesecake. Oh, and a Caesar salad. It's fantastic. Let's see. How much does an Asian weigh? Wonton. Bulbasaur fleshlight. Yeah, I got a Bulbasaur fleshlight for my birthday. It's fantastic. Let's see. It's a certain lady friend I've been talking to here recently. It's rather promising, and because I knew, you'll find it eventually, kind of thing. I told her about the channel. I told her about, I forgot that is actually a real thing. They were Pokemon dildos. Not officially licensed, but yeah, they made them. But anyways, so I tell her about the channel, and, I'm all like, now I hesitate to point this out because I don't really want to give you the wrong impression of me. You got to understand that to some extent, you got to kind of crank the dial up for 11 when you're doing live streams. You got to be you, but like exaggerate it. Like I don't normally blurt out fucking obscenities all the time. You know what I mean? I'm not normally screaming racial epithets at people. Like you gotta understand that, okay? And she was cool. She was like, "Oh, I get it, radio personality. I know the drill." And she's like, "Well, send me one of your videos." So I actually sent her one of the animated videos. I think the one I did on Power Rangers. And she goes, "Oh, sure. You send me the one with nothing offensive in it." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I got to work you up. It's like, I got to slowly ease you into it." Let's see. So he says Bechtloff once for his birthday is to Vine Whip Tay Tay. Hey, that's a lady, all right? You get a wine and dine her first before you Vine Whip her. What's a Jew's idea of Christmas? A parking meter on the roof. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube, so I'm gonna pretend I don't get that. Let's see. Ask her if you're being detained. Let's see. Let's see. Going through. Somebody says, "Just be yourself." No, heavens no. Don't do that. Let's see. Everything Bechtloff loves in terms of food and games, I hate. Everything he hates, everything I hate. Everything I like, he hates. What is this world? I mean, what do you like in terms of games? I don't know, but somebody says Longhorn Steakhouse over Outback. You are a fucking fool, sir. Don't get me wrong, I like Longhorn Steakhouse, but for a steak, no, you go to fucking Outback. There's a lot of great things at Longhorn. Actually, they have a chicken dish there. I can't remember what it's called, but it's some grilled chicken dish that I really like. They have man, these fucking Tay gifts are distracting. But I didn't say take them down. I'm just saying they're distracting. Holy shit. I'm sorry. I gotta like not look at the screen for a minute while I'm trying to talk. But Longhorn has a baked sweet potato that has like caramel and marshmallow on it, which is fucking amazing. But then again, man, Outback some of the bait. I don't know what they put on the steak when they sear the spices onto it, but damn, is it good. I wanted to make sweet love to that steak. Let's see. Why is Tay wearing a slave collar? I don't know. Especially if she's like got a dominatrix whip. I don't know. But sometimes BDSM outfits are confusing like that. Like sometimes the dom wears collars. It's really weird. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, I've dabbled in those black arts, but I don't claim to be an expert in the intricacies of that community. Boy, I can't talk today. You know, I do this as kind of a part-time side job. You'd think I'd be able to fucking speak. Foreign Thomas says, I like to cook my own steak. Oh, I do too. Steaks, I love cooking steak, but, you know, every once in a while. And I mean, I got the good fucking steak. It wasn't big. I wasn't trying to fucking break the bank here. And my dad was actually buying me dinner. This was my birthday. But I got a 6-ounce filet mignon, and oh man, I wanted to make sweet love to that steak. Somebody says Taylor has some supple titties for a skinny gal. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. You get no argument from me. Does your new woman know she's expected to dress like Tay? I think it's a little presumptuous to call her my woman at this point, but no, she's not expected to do that. Let's see. The local Mexican restaurant that probably only exists in my area is fucking amazing. Oh, there's one in my area. What the hell is it called? Like Plaza Aztec or some shit like that. And it is fucking amazing. There's this one thing I get there called a Pina Loca. And it's like half of a pineapple is hollowed out. And then there's like chicken and steak and sausage and mushrooms and onions and peppers and bits of pineapple all diced together in this like spicy pineapple sauce. Oh my God, it's so good. Oh snap, does the Bechtloff have a woman? Let's see. All right. There's something that's kind of promising, all right? I already regret that I mentioned it. Let's see.
Thanks and nuts.
Switches, what did you think the cable ties were for? Let's see. Yeah, some of these guys I'm not even going to read, all right? Is that you playing Subnautica, by the way, Luke, or is that just footage you found?
It's me live, yes.
Oh, wow, Luke's actually This is a Let's Play. This is a Subnautica Let's Play, gentlemen. You wanted a Let's Play, you fucking got one. Y'all happy now?
Brandon, I'm halfway into the game, but you guys can watch if it's not too distracting.
Oh, let's see.
Of course, most of it's just gathering resources and building stuff, so I'm not sure how this could be a good game playthrough.
So he says we got to scare her off to protect Bechtloff's purity. No, trust me, there's not a lot of purity to protect. Yeah, you guys are about what, like 15 years too late for that shit. see. Do Arini and Forney know you're seeing this gal? Could really shake up the Saturday night lineup. Yeah, that's separate from what goes on in the live stream. All right, guys. Let's see. In fact, I actually was thinking it might interfere a bit with the Saturday night live stream. So, I mean, I hate to put you on the spot here live, Luke, but how would you feel about maybe doing this show without me one night if it came to that? Because, I mean, I've given you login info into this account.
Okay. I mean, you've seen my live streams. I'm not exactly the most engaging individual.
I'm just saying. I don't know if it would come to that. Well, I mean, you'd have guests on, but if I ever need you to cover, I might have you do that. Let's see.
Oh, sure. I don't mind.
Bechtloff, it occurred to me today, critics said Black Panther broke the Iron Man mold, but Black Panther is literally 3 Iron Man movies in one. Again, I don't know. I didn't really see Black Panther. I don't really have any interest in it. Somebody says, Bechtloff, you need to take a cue from Greater Good Grinder Greg Johnson and get a nice catamite. Yeah, it's not really my thing. Not really my speed. Not a fan of the boy pussy. Then cue someone in the chat being like, well, how do you know if you never tried it? I'm just gonna assume. I'm just gonna assume.
You don't have to commit a sin to know you shouldn't do it.
Does Luke have a new channel? Luke has his channel. It's Artistic Layman.
Is someone mimicking me?
I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have a new channel. It's just your regular channel. Let's see. I checked the Facebook, the Gab. I wonder when Aaron Clary's supposed to have his review of Lauren Southern's little pamphlet. I mean, I sent it to him a while ago. Of course, now he's playing Breath of the Wild. On my recommendation, he got himself Breath of the Wild. So that is far more interesting than Lauren's book. So somebody says more like autistic gay man. Am I right? Ooh, they got you there, Burn, man.
Well, I can only object to the gay man part.
Let's see. Bechtloff, you should take her to Outback for a steak dinner and live stream it. We could all give you pointers on pairing the wine. Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic idea. I'm sure we'll do that. That's see, I regret saying anything,
Thanks a lot, guys.
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Artistic Layman, look it up. Yeah. So here we are with our Subnautica playthrough here on the Bechtloff channel. That also has a Dominatrix Taylor Swift gif next to it. Because, that's how we roll here.
So what is this I'm hearing about? So apparently I have a new channel somewhere that I'm not aware of?
Somebody, I guess, thought it was a new channel, but it wasn't. Bechtloff, for a first date, show her how good you are with money. Take her to the library because it's free. There you go. This is a visually intense live stream. That it is. Bechtloff, the regret has only just begun. Oh, I have no doubt. Somebody said dead air. There's not that much dead air. Come on. Let chat write a letter to her, one word at a time, and sign it yourself. Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic idea. That's That's Twitch plays Pokemon to the next level, huh? Not many Let's Plays have Dominatrix Taylor. This is true. This is only here on the Bechtloff channel. Are you going to find this kind?
Oh, there is a audio segment I want to turn to. This is your Bechtloff podcast moment. We don't want this to die.
Although I'm sure there are dominatrixes on Twitch that do Let's Plays while demanding bits from pay piggies or something like that. I mean, I'm sure if I can imagine it, I'm sure it's a thing. That's the thing about the internet, especially when it comes to sexual stuff. If you can imagine it, somebody's doing it right now. Bechtloff should dress up as a Bulbasaur for his first date. Yeah, that's another fan. You guys are just full of fantastic ideas tonight. This is all just wonderful advice. This is Roosh level advice here, right here, folks. Shit, even Razor Fist doesn't have sexy S&M gifts on the side. Yep, you won't find this on the Rageaholic channel. That's only here. He might have people in leather on the side, but it would be dudes because he's a metalhead. You know, I wasn't calling him gay. I'm just saying that there's some gay undertones to metal. That's all I'm saying. A little bit of gay undertones to it. A little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. You know, when a guy's rocking out with like a vest and no shirt, I'm just saying, little bit gay. Razor Fist wouldn't have much to rage about if he did. I gotta get him on again. Yeah, see if he's willing to slum it on this channel again. See, but without Twitter, I don't really have a good way to contact him because he follows me on Gab, but he's never on Gab. And you know, when you direct message somebody on Gab, it gets deleted in like a day, regardless of whether they see it. Turn up to the first date and throw literal cooked strands of spaghetti out of your pocket before giving a sly wink. Yeah, that's just use the Razor Fist sky signal. Let's see. I don't know though. For a while, I was thinking maybe he just didn't like me anymore because I was shitting on Spoonie. But I love you, Razor Fist, if you're listening. I'm still a big fan. You're always welcome on here. Reform Thomas says, I'd like to go on a stream with Razor Fist. You were on a stream with Razor Fist. I know you were on the election night stream with him. He was on here for the election night. Bechtloff, I sent Razor a super chat asking if he'd come on your channel again. He was pretty down for it. Yeah, like I said, he's always welcome on here. Tell her what the 14 words are. Yeah, that'll go over great too. That's definitely something. That's definitely something you want to throw out there on a first date. Let's see. Bechtloff is Luke's Terrangel. Wait, wouldn't he be my Terrangel? Because this is my channel. How'd I get demoted to the sidekick?
I'm the video editor here.
Yeah. Bechtloff's date should dress as Dominatrix Tay to give Bechtloff a nice spanking. This is fantastic advice here, guys. Let's see. Yeah, but I'd like Reform Thomas says, yeah, but I'd like to do more of a general one. I'm surprised you remember that. Oh man, the election night was great. I'll never forget that, man. That was the high point of doing this channel. I could have quit after that. In fact, if Trump would have won, I would have quit after that and hid in my fucking bunker. Give her a lengthy discussion on how the roads will be built. Let's see.
Oh yeah, that's backwards. Normally, Razor Fist is the one that's playing in Terrangel.
Oh, Razor Fist plays, and okay, I see. But I'm not really narrating the game. I'm barely paying attention to your game. And get her woke.
They never really narrate anyway. They always go read the comment section.
Get her woke on the Catholic question. Give her the big Toblerone. Oh, Lordy. I don't even know what this means. Does the Arctic expansion black chick receive vitamin D supplements? I think y'all are on a higher level of woke than I am. I'm not sure what the hell you're talking about there. No, she must be woke on the Amish question. Well, that's bound to come up eventually. But would she want to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles and cuddle with you? You know, that was something I was thinking of the other day because, like, Forney and I were making fun of Mike and Isimoff, I think, on one of his streams or something. And it's like he wanted Julie to play Sonic 3 with him, right? But Sonic 3 isn't a two-player game. Like, not really. I mean, I guess she could be Tails while he plays as Sonic, but nobody wants to do that. Let's see. I got a new title for these type episodes: the Taylor Dominance Arcade. You know, that could actually be that could be a regular fucking feature. Okay, so my girlfriend is black. Come winter in Canada, she sleeps 18 hours a day. Well, you know, I mean, her ancestors developed in sub-Saharan Africa. They're not used to you snow monkeys in your climates. Tay Arcade. Somebody says feed her a bowl of eggs for the first date. What is that just random nonsense, or is there some subtext there I'm not getting? I don't even know if this is an entertaining stream, but the chat is entertaining me. Let's see. Show her your designs for the Amish camps. If all else fails, take her to church. Let's see. Albino cave beast. My state legislature is now considering legalizing weed. I actually support this measure. At least they're doing something. I'm a big fan of drug legalization in general. I wouldn't legalize all of them until the welfare state is reduced, but I think weed is probably something that's not worth the cops' time. We need to just go ahead and fucking legalize it. Legalize it, regulate it, tax it, you know, just have it just be a regular, you know, have it just be like cigarettes. On the first date, only order food items with a spiral in them. I don't even know what that's referring to. Luke, show us your surface base. All right, we got a question regarding actual gameplay here, Luke.
Okay, that will take a few minutes to get to the surface. Give me a moment.
All right. Let's see. Tax them like they tax booze. Yeah, I'm fine with weed legalization. It's now I'll say this though: both conservatives and liberals alike get too hung up on the weed. Like, yeah, I'd like to legalize it. I think it would probably be a good idea. It's not high on my list of priorities. So all these leftists who are like, "Oh, you gotta legalize it, dude!" Like that's the only fucking thing they vote on. That's pathetic. Likewise, though, the Jeff Sessions of the world who get so fucking worked up about the weed, dude, gotta make the weed illegal. Like, grow up, Jeff. Bechtloff, for a first date, take her to the used retro game store. You know, that's not a first date thing, but that's not a bad. The one in particular isn't a bad kind of date destination, like a casual date destination, just because arcades used to be a great date destination. They really were. Back in my high school days, my high school sweetheart and I had many a fun time at the arcade. Yeah, many a fun time at the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 machine. Let's see. Take her to the range on date number 2. Tell her if she calls a magazine a clip even once, it's over. I don't actually go to the range. I go. A friend of mine has an area behind his house that you're able to shoot in. That I just do that. I don't go to professional ranges any. I don't. It's just it's. I don't have to deal with the bullshit of going to a range, and I'm grateful for that. Let's see. Arcades in the late 80s / early 90s were awesome. More proof societal progress can make things worse. Yeah, there's definitely a social aspect gone with the death of the arcade. And I know you could go on your Xbox Live and play anyone around the world. Yeah, but that's not the same thing as actually standing next to another human being. Don't take her to see Watchmen. I did that on a first date thinking it would be like Spider-Man. Nothing says awkward like on a first date like 2 hours of blue penis. It's funny, my buddies and I went to go see Watchmen, and my dad tagged along because he's always up for a superhero movie. He doesn't read comic books, but he loves superhero movies and shows. But, you know, he wasn't familiar with Watchmen. But there's that like 45-minute sex scene between Night Owl and Silk Spectre, which is like one panel in the book, too. And they just drag this on for fucking forever in the movie. It's like he's switching positions. He's giving her the jackhammer by the fucking end of it. And I just remember, because my buddy and I just burst out laughing because my dad kind of leans over to us and goes like, damn, Owlman's throwing some dick. And it was especially funny because he got the name wrong, too. And I even pointed out, I was like, he's called Night Owl. And my dad just went, Owlman's a better name. Like my dad's in there like, no, he's Owlman because I said so. He's like Batman, but he's an owl. He's Owlman. Fuck your Night Owl shit. Let's see. Reform Thomas. She probably thought you were giving her a hint. LOL. My dad took my mom out on a first date to see Predator. My uncle's first wife got to see Event Horizon on a first date. Those are both great movies, but somebody says, isn't Owlman the evil version of Batman? Actually, yes. Points to you on that. Owlman is the crime syndicate universe version of Batman. And actually, Crime Syndicate's some of my favorite DC stuff. Oh, that's your surface base? Wait, aren't you still like way underwater?
Well, I'm slightly underwater. Well, only slightly. The bases aren't really meant to be over the surface.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Predator is romantic as fuck. Event Horizon, you mean the Warhammer 40K prequel? I like to think of Event Horizon as the true Doom movie. So he says Total Recall greater than Predator. Fight me. I don't necessarily agree with that, but they're both great movies, so I don't necessarily feel like fighting the point. Somebody says I'm going to take my future wife to. Somebody says I'm going to take my future wife to see Spaceballs 2: The Search for Money. With all these new Star Wars movies coming out, I wouldn't be surprised if that actually happens. In the Mouth of Madness is a perfect date movie. Probably not. Let's see. Let's see. Any interest in seeing Ready Player One? No. I can honestly say I have no interest in that. For a date, take her back to your place and watch The Room, but just the sex scene on a 2-hour loop. It's like the world's most awkward porno. Um, let's see. Bechtloff, you know a game with a cool setting? We are dwarves, literally dwarf astronauts in a universe of solid stone with empty planet-sized pockets with jewel suns. That's kind of interesting. Luke, do you have a scanner room? They're asking if you have a scanner
Yes.
room.
A couple of them actually. But one up here, one down in the depths, right here.
Hmm.
Of course, you can't get in until you get to the main entrance. When I saw the water, see on its side when I go inside. Here we go. Here we are. Scanner room.
After date 3, ask her back to your place for a little forny streaming Deus Ex and chill. Let's see. Luke, does your character also have a fish lover like Shape of Water? Okay.
Unfortunately, the only a monster here are the giant octopuses that disappear and vanish like Cthulhu monsters.
So you're getting the tentacles, are you?
Avoiding them to the best of my ability. They're not very friendly.
Somebody told me The Shape of Water is a Hellboy prequel. That fish monster in it is the fish dude from Hellboy. Like, I heard that somewhere, and
it doesn't look like him, but it could be mistaken for him.
Like, I know it's the same director, obviously, but that would be really, that would actually be pretty cool that a fucking Hellboy prequel won Best Picture. Luke, you have a neat base. Luke, so your character is Japanese? They're asking if your character is Japanese. I'm not sure why.
Oh yeah, apparently the main character is like some sort of Oriental character with a odd haircut. If I go to the surface, you can see his bizarre hairstyle. Or better yet, I'll get a picture of him. Let's see.
His character is 56% incarnate, actually.
Here he is. Let's see if I can get him on the screen.
Cowardly the Dog says, that was me, and it's what I heard. Hell, the character eats eggs. Yeah, that's right. The guy in Hellboy ate eggs, too.
Here's the main character. Here's what the main character supposedly looks like.
Yeah, that is kind of 56, isn't it? Let's see. Bechtloff, Japanese because squid monster, fisherman's wife. Let's see. The same director and same actor as well. Oh, so wasn't it the guy who he was Frasier's brother in the Frasier show? He did the voice of the fish guy in Hellboy, if I remember correctly. So it's that guy again. The director claims the fishman is the god of the Amazon River. Huh. Fishman watches in the closet while dressed as Superman. Let's see. The Shape of Water. The Shape of Water equal creature from the Black Lagoon. That's actually one of my favorite of the classic horror movies, like monster movies, Universal Monster and all. It's funny too. My buddy actually, he has this running gag where he says like, the creature from the Black Lagoon exists in almost all forms of fiction. It's just that he's not referenced in most of them. So like, he makes a joke. He's like, so if you're just watching like Seinfeld, just know that while all that's going on, somewhere in Florida, somewhere in the Amazon, the creature from the Black Lagoon swimming around. Fishman watches in the closet while dressed like Aquaman. Let's see. Reform Thomas says the shape of water equal 50 shades of fish.
Ooh.
So basically, we can just admit that this director is a furry, or I'm sorry, a scaly they call it. The Invisible Man makes cameos in all kinds of movies, but you don't notice because he's streaking. The creature from the Black Lagoon exists in almost all fictional universes. He's just not referenced in most. Let's see.
If we're lucky, we'll see one of those octopus monsters in here.
Alrighty. 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Scales of Grey. I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh, he's going for it. He's going to get raped by the tentacle monster. Here comes the tentacle monster.
Oh.
Coming to show you a good time.
I guess we do camera shy. Oh, but there's a giant electric monster right here.
Del Toro says, well, I just finished fapping to fish hentai. Time to make a movie. I do want to see Shape of Water, though. It actually looks good. Luke isn't out here for the hunting. No, Luke's being hunted. He just doesn't know it
monsters
yet.
all over this place.
It's cool. Being underwater, there's an excuse for the poor draw distance, too. That so many 3D games have. I mean, it's not like it used to be on the N64 days when, there was always a fog. No matter what.
Yeah. That's what makes this game really scary, because the most dangerous monsters are just beyond your vision.
Let's see. Little Star Fox 64 reference there.
Oh, my blue marine.
Bechtloff, do you hear Lucasfilms? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Bechtloff, did you hear Lucasfilms is calling for Kathleen Kennedy to be removed? Disney may give in to. I don't know. I don't. Somebody says I thought Dunkirk was overrated. I haven't seen Dunkirk yet. I've been meaning to. It's just like Hollywood is such shit anymore that unless it's a Marvel movie, you're hard pressed to get me to care. And even sometimes with Marvel movies, I don't. I didn't go see Black Panther. I checked, but I was fresh out of white guilt. Bechtloff, did you hear that Toys R Us is going out of business? Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the stream. Bechtloff, you ever watch I Love Comics? He's a good channel. Should check him out. I'll look into it. Lucasfilm should have made a flick of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That'd be cool. You could adapt that into a pretty good movie. Also curious to see, out of the Americans hating the Oscars, the only man to thank the U.S. for the opportunities for getting rich was Gary Oldman, an Englishman. Interesting. Oh, I see. Out of the America hating Oscars, I see. Thought you meant like, the American people hating the Oscars. Dunkirk kept jumping around from plot point to plot point. Timeline of events is a jumbled mess. Like I said, I didn't see it. Bechtloff, opinions on the next X-Men movie, Dark Phoenix or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. The X-Men movies are, they've always been hit or miss, but they're largely good now. First Class was good. Days of Future Past was good. I heard Apocalypse was kind of shit, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Go through the chat here. Anything I miss? I kind of want to get into Subnautica, but I'm just afraid it'd be too much of a time sink. Ugh.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
can be the first time around.
Lord knows Breath of the Wild is. I found a guy who sells you who'll sell you a Boku Goblin mask, and when you wear it, the Boku Goblins like they think you're one of them, so they won't attack you unless you attack first. They'll follow you around sniffing you though, but let's see. Pardon me. Did you see the new Tomb Raider trailer? I actually did a video a little while back on the on how I don't have any interest in it. Only the little animated videos. I don't like it because it's grim and gritty and giant air quotes realistic, and I don't like that. Tomb Raider is a fun pulp kind of story, in my opinion. I don't care for chasing the realism dragon in storytelling. I think you often sacrifice a lot of cool, fun things on that altar. He says, the monster salesman. The Lionel mask will only work for a short time. I didn't even know you could get a Lionel mask. Lionels are the centaurs, right? They're the one thing in that game I have not managed to kill any of yet. I've even taken out like the guardians that walk around and shit. If you start firing them right in the eye, you can get them into kind of a rhythm where they can't do shit. As long as you have enough arrows, they're fucked. But yeah, I haven't managed to kill the centaurs. They're tough as nails, and the AI is good. Like the AI is sharp in those things. Pardon me. And like if you try and throw bombs at them from a high distance, they'll actually jump back from the bombs and shoot fire at it or something. Hang on a sec. Let me mute my mic for a sec. I got to clear my throat. Oh, pardon me. That should be a lot better. Oh, pardon me. Damn it! Now I got the hiccups. Read my last post, Bechtloff. I don't know. Post it again. I don't want to scroll through the chat.
Especially for a chat this long, it'll take forever.
Lionels have the best. Oh, damn it! I got the hiccups. Where the fuck did that come from?
Oh.
Lionels have the best weapons once you figure out the pattern. They go down, but you go through a few weapons. Oh, shit. I might have to end his stream. I just got a fucking case of hiccups all of a sudden.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this kind of sucks. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to end the stream. I don't know where the hell that came from. Like I coughed myself into having fucking hiccups. I don't know how that happened. All right, well, shit. I guess I'll have to end the stream then. This wonderful Subnautica playthrough. All right, folks, if you enjoy the show, I want to thank you all for listening. And oh, god damn it! And there's the PayPal, the Patreon, the Amazon wishlist, where you can support this very, very professional show. As I'm sitting here hiccuping, and yeah, we'll probably have Luke live stream some more. I'm going to second shift, so you can expect some late night streams. Oh, damn it. Yeah, so that's all I got for tonight, folks. Thanks for listening. Bechtloff.